Okay, so general. You guys have Knight of Pentacles, King of Wands, and the Sun. So the King of Wands is a masculine energy. This could represent an actual male or someone who has mostly, again, male, I guess you could say male characteristics, or just, I just like to say masculine energy, because at times this is very general. It can represent female. Anyway, the energy surrounding this person is extremely positive. So either you are dealing with someone, yes, who might be a fire sign, or, you know, this could represent your energy for the month, which is very dynamic, very much a go-getter. You're taking action, you're keeping busy. There's a lot of enthusiasm here with the wand energy too. And the King of Wands tends to be one of my more aggressive kings. He goes after what he wants. That's just what he does. And I don't really see any negative qualities to this character because of the two cards that are next to him. Knight of Pentacles could represent an offer that's tied to finances. This can be a new project coming in, a job opportunity, financial success, coming from any source. Could be coming from the King of Wands. He could be the one who's giving you a chance. He can definitely be a boss figure because of the kings. He tends to be my leader, my manager, similar to the Queen of Wands. And then whatever that opportunity is, and this can also be a message. It can be in terms of communication, I always refer to the Knight of Pentacles as a person who has a lot to say. Like, this is a long meeting, an hour-long meeting, a very long email, or again, like an hour phone call. So in terms of communication, that's what can be happening. Regardless, the situation has a positive resolution. You have the Sun. So that represents happiness, joy, fulfillment, whatever it is you're hearing or the offer that you're being given. It's making you feel like this. Maybe it's something that you've wanted for some time. Maybe you've been waiting for your bonus and, you know, it's more than you expected, or it's just enough. There's some happiness that's most likely tied to work or money, or of course, it can also be tied to hearing from someone that you wanted to hear from, and you're going in deep. I see the Knight of Pentacles as my deep communicator card. So you might be engaging with this person, and again, it's a happy situation. So generally speaking, I see you very content overall in December. So yay. We definitely need more of that energy. Now, when it comes to, let me go to love really quick. I think I just go straight down for the other readings. I can't even remember. But I want to go to the love portion, and you have the World with the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. And what's comical to me, I feel like this may have happened with another sign or several signs, where I swear this deck, sometimes I get more work, and then the other deck I get more love. But I've asked this deck for love, so this is how I'm going to just, I'm going to go with it. So honestly, I feel like love might not be on your mind, and that could be because you're very busy. You just don't have time for it. Maybe, you got family stuff to deal with the holidays, or again, you're just working a lot. You've got projects you want to complete. We have the card of the hard worker. You've got completion here. So maybe you're completing a long-standing project. Or your world could simply be occupied by work. That can be a literal meaning for this combo here. With the Nine of Wands, it's as if to me that you kind of like it this way for now. Maybe you don't want to deal with the love side. Maybe there's some complications, or there have been some complications, and it's kind of nice to focus on your work. Maybe you haven't been able to do that for a while, and this is actually a nice break. I mean, it's an interesting time around the holidays, but it is what it is. You need to do what you need to do. Nine of Wands is caution. It's exhaustion as well. And it could be because Nine of Wands is next to the Eight of Pentacles that you're being worked to death, or you have to work because, money for one, you're being asked to, and maybe you don't feel like you can say no because you need the money, or you're, concerned about your job if you rejected the idea of doing any overtime. I don't know what your situation is exactly, but that can be the other vibe that I get. Regardless, there's an element of working a lot and it's taken away from the love life. That's definitely potential. Now, looking at this without considering work at all, despite the Eight of Pentacles being right smack in the middle, and I will say that my first thoughts, what I just rambled on about, is what I feel most strongly in regards to this trio. However, I do think that at the basic level, this message can simply be saying that finding love right now, and this feels like it's more of a message, you know what, this can be single or relationship. Finding love or dealing with love at this time, whether in a relationship or not, is a bit of a struggle in December. It might tire you out. You feel that's exhausting. And maybe you just want a break. You feel a little bit cautious. Maybe you're in a situation where you had to walk on eggshells with the new people that you've met or your current partner. And for now, I feel that it's draining one way or the other. Because either this is literal work that's occupying you, or your relationship itself might feel like it's increased in the amount of effort you have to put into it. And again, I get this vibe of just wanting a break. If you're single, of course, that might not mean that, well, if you're single, you don't have the relationship to put more effort into, but maybe you feel like just finding someone is pain in the ass, or you keep finding people that you consider duds, and that in itself is exhausting. You don't really want to go through the whole process again, this being the process, the world, the cycle repeats. Too much work, you just need a break, get the holidays over with, maybe reconsider in January. That is the vibe I'm getting, okay? Now, I will go to the outcome. I think I'm doing you guys a little bit differently than others, but regardless, I'm going to draw one. This is for the love, just to see what this deck has to say in regards to December. Oh, boy. Okay. Yeah, see, closed gate. Now, if you really, want to find a partner, I don't think that this, settle down. I don't think this means, oh my God, you're not going to find anything. I know the words are a little bit scary. It says, fate has closed the gate, no more to return. Honestly, I'm seeing this very similar to how I'm seeing this when I disregarded, this being about work being your distraction, where it's been a lot of effort to deal with your relationship or to find another partner, where you're just shutting it down for at least a month until you feel ready to kind of start looking again, or, until you find that you want to put effort into your relationship again. I feel like there's a break that needs to happen, which I don't think is a bad thing. And, these aren't, aside from the Nine of Wands, which is a cautious energy and he's tired, been through a lot. It's not the worst. And actually, before I do clarifiers, I want to look at the outcome card. So as I speak about this, I start looking at death as if I haven't seen it before. Anyway, we have the Hermit and death. And I think at some point in December, the big thing about December is you might just reach a conclusion on something. This could be your love life, it could be your work life, it could be any sort of aspect in your world. And I think you're going to finally reach a conclusion after a lot of thought, a lot of thinking on your own. Maybe you're getting the advice of someone who you consider wise and somewhat of a counselor or therapist, but you're going to clearly make a decision. And there's the vibe that I'm getting is not so much as this decision to end the situation, which it could be with death here, but I'm seeing this as firm decision. This is what I'm doing. I have no desire to go back. It's like once you close that door, once you close that gate, it's not going to reopen. And I don't necessarily see that as a negative. I see it just as, again, you being extremely decisive after having put a lot of thought and then coming to a conclusion. I'm seeing death as making a firm conclusion on what you have to do. Maybe that's ending a situation, maybe it's not. Anyway, let me get one for each. Okay. Clarifiers for love are very nice. So that is interesting. All right, so let's get... Okay. Just gonna get one. I'll get one on death. Okay. Let's take another. Okay. You have a repeat card that showed up once in love, once in this clarifier, and that is the Page of Pentacles. And let me get one for each. Okay. Oh, another repeat. Magician. Good repeat. I like that one. Okay, so let's go back. Actually, jumping all over the map. I think I received a few messages that requested these romance angels, which I do have. I just don't use them very often. And you'll get one. So everyone will. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. So that says true love. In case you missed that, of course, you can always rewind. All right. For the world, we have the Magician. And as I said, the Magician has it came up in the general. There might be some overlap between the general and love. So I actually like this. It's not the Fool, which is the card that would immediately follow the world. But it's the next one up. It's the card of action. You know, it's manifestation just as well. And so we have the card of the cycle completing, you know, your world being occupied. It's possible that this is, again, re-emphasizing that your world is your world has been, you know, taken over by work. You're too busy, you know, taking action on all the sorts of things around you, getting things done, that right now you don't have time for love. I still see that because of this closed gate. With the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Empress. So again, and we've got Pentacles here, which again for me is mentally tying back to work, or this element of being busy or focusing on money, or even if you don't have a standard 9-to-5 job, I like to also just mention it could be a hobby or whatever it is that's your focus outside of love, basically. With the Empress here, again, I get this vibe of focusing very strongly on, you know, building a groundwork, maybe trying to, for instance, improve your clientele came up in my mind. Growth came up as a word in my mind in relation, again, to some form of business or tying into that work concentration. Now, this could also be related to family, or if you have children, that's keeping you busy. This is the Empress. She's the mother figure. And as a woman, which is what this card usually represents for me, she's extremely capable figure, and more often than not has a lot of things on her plate, which for the millionth time re-emphasizes this element of you being very busy and not really having time to focus again on the romance side of things. Now, this is interesting because the romance angels is like, oh yeah, true love. So I still feel like, I might get a card for that. I still feel like, just one second. We have the Page of Pentacles with the Nine of Wands. Some of you might be hearing something in regards to your life in general, I guess, that again can cause some sort of worry because it is a clarifier to the Nine of Wands, a card of worry. You could be worrying about a child. You could be worrying about your finances, your home, property, you know, family. And again, I'm going to say that it's keeping you away from love. So I just want to see one thing real quick. Let me get you on the true love. King of Cups. So, you know, you're still, despite the fact that I'm getting this whole, yeah, I'm too busy. It looks like there's an interest. There is someone that's interested in you. And it could be that you're not making time for them because you can't. But it seems like as a person, if they're new, or even if they're your current partner, they're very understanding. And you might have to stand your ground. Or again, there's a little bit of a power struggle here with the Seven of Wands. Or this person can be very persistent for trying to either, you know, get you on a date, or if you're already in a relationship, get you to spend more time with them in December. So you might find yourself, you know, telling them, I really can't, we'll do stuff in January instead. And that can just be what you're trying to get away with this potential partner who is the King of Cups. Okay, so you guys are by far my longest reading. I think everyone else is like 10 minutes. Somehow, I don't know. Okay, so Four of Swords and the Princess of Pentacles, otherwise the Page of Pentacles, are the clarifiers for the outcome here. And yeah, so for me, death. Okay, I feel like, again, this firm decision, you make it and it puts you at ease because you feel confident with what you're deciding and what you need to do. It could be tied to work. So maybe you're going to like reach out, or you're simply reaching out. She's definitely writing. I do see her as the writer in this deck. So I actually, yeah, what could be happening, you've had a lot of time to think. You're like, all right, I know what I need to do. So you're going to go ahead and do it, but there's no regret there. You feel like satisfied with your decision with the Four of Swords, and you're writing to someone. It has to do with you communicating, I think, information to someone. Maybe you gotta actually pay out money too, because I think she's pulling out a coin. So maybe you're giving someone a check and that's what you were thinking about, payment for something, whatever, or putting money towards something. Either way, you're going ahead with your plan, and it most likely involves putting money out and again, putting something in writing that says, this is what I'm doing. Four of Wands came out, and I don't really have any strong feelings towards this. It was reversed. I mean, maybe some of you are selling a home or moving on, or just focused on your house, family, or there's money that you're putting towards an event of some kind. Maybe it's going to cost a little more than you expected. That's coming to my brain. Why are you there? The devil was hanging out there. I don't know why. This could be a hidden energy because it was turned down and apparently I never picked it up. Maybe there's something going on in the background. Devil represents vices. You know, I like this energy most of the time though. Maybe you're engaging in something that you really want to do, that you feel extremely passionate about as well. It's hidden energy, so it's kind of just there. I'm going to leave it there. Move on. All right, so we have the Three of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles. I think it's as communication or some form of financial opportunity or any form of offer. You've been waiting for this forever. My God, it feels like it's been years. And you're like, finally, there's a ship. I see one of the ships coming in at the Three of Wands. Why did it take so long? Who knows? With the King of Wands, we have Judgment. So this might be a person that you've been expecting to hear from, or that you will hear from. Judgment is often, again, like big news, big information, or enlightenment. And I think it's enlightenment about the King of Wands. So you're hearing something that is big and very revealing when it comes to this character. And it could be just the fact that maybe this person is reaching out, giving you an offer, or is like this very long message that you didn't expect. And it tells you all sorts of information that makes you happy. So, because you got the Magician. I mean, whatever this is here, it makes you feel empowered. You're taking action. You're, again, ready to go forward. You've got basically, I feel like you got the sun behind you. Fire energy has the will to create and manifest anything. And I think that's how you're feeling by the end of December. So I love that. And good luck to you. Until the next readings, which is most likely going to be the weeklies.